So we just got a pretty awesome article from Sony themselves detailing some information on the upcoming open world action game Rise of the Ronin that details some pretty interesting features players and myself should be looking forward to on March 22nd. We got a lot to talk about this one, so let's begin. What's up everybody, it's your boy Saga bringing you awesome fast information regarding all things PlayStation gaming. If you enjoy content that respects your time, hit the like button to get this video out to other gaming fans, but if you didn't, drop a dislike so I know exactly where to improve. So yeah, recently Sony over on Twitter released an article for the upcoming Rise of the Ronin giving us some awesome details, and keep in mind down below in the description I will have this article linked, so just in case you want to read it yourself, you can do it. So this one is from the PlayStation blog and it's called Rise of the Ronin Hands-On Report. Team Ninja's first open world is a wandering swordsman playground. Starting off, Team Ninja has become synonymous with best-in-class action gameplay from Ninja Gaiden to Nioh 2. The fundamental act of swinging a sword or spear or any number of deadly weapons is reliably complex and satisfying, and often with a challenging yet rewarding learning curve. That Rise of Ronin carries on this tradition is hardly a surprise, but their latest work on PlayStation 5 offers so much more than satisfying combat. Team Ninja jumped katana first into the crowded open world space and delivers something uniquely compelling. After finishing the linear prologue, the events which I won't spoil here, I soon found myself thrust into a game vast open world, a first for Team Ninja. Armed with a katana, western style saber, musket, and trusty steed, I took the long route to Yokohama, scouring the countryside for crafting materials, climbing rooftops to pet cats, and freeing villages from the clutches of bloodthirsty bandits. Now the reason why I want to read this part very specifically, and that intro specifically, is because Team Ninja has been this studio that's always been associated with this very high fast action combat style of gameplay that typically lean towards a little bit more hardcore for players. And I enjoy that style of content, a lot of players enjoy that style of content, but this is their first take on an open world game. And with it came a little bit of change that the team wanted to basically do, where they maybe shifted a little less into that hardcore pairing style gameplay, which they definitely still have, but more of a heavier focus on that open world aspect of the game. I do feel like a lot of players are jumping in and expecting this game to be more of a Nioh, when in reality this is probably going to be closer to a combination of a little bit of Sekiro, a little bit of Nioh, and maybe a little bit of Assassin's Creed. For those familiar with Team Ninja's recent run of modern action classics, Rise of the Ronin places a much greater emphasis on the duel itself. The game achieves this by prioritizing parries called counter sparks and drain your enemy's ki, stamina, which in turn makes them more vulnerable to gruesome critical strikes. Optimal play seems to be emphasized, staying within striking distance and timing your opponent's attack to counter. So again, Team Ninja is putting a heavier emphasis on that dueling style of combat, and this is where that Sekiro feel that we mentioned a second ago comes in, where you're going to have a heavier emphasis on just dueling rather than dodging. I'm sure you're going to be able to dodge combat and stuff and move around and maneuver, but again, you're going to have a more one-on-one feel, and that's where the Sekiro feel actually comes into play. And I see this a lot, where you're going to be rewarded for doing the duel. Rise of the Ronin affords the player a ton of flexibility in how they approach combat encounters, whether you want to whistle down the horde by landing headshots from afar, or first prey on vulnerable sentries with stealth strikes. So once again, even more so emphasizing that this is going to have that Assassin's Creed feel, because again, you're going to be able to do the stealth kills. Grappling hook is going to give you that versatility to climb. Maybe you're not going to do the same climbing like in Assassin's Creed, but you're probably going to get something very similar with it. And then again, you're going to have multiple approaches to combat, where you can play that stealth guy, you can play that far range sniper, whatever the case, because I know there's muskets in the game. Really cool stuff that I think a lot of players are going to enjoy if they actually know this stuff exists in the game. Finally, the article ends off with talking about the flight, and yes, there is flight in Rise of the Ronin. It's like a prototype flyer. I'm sure I'll have it on screen playing now. My time with Rise of the Ronin concluded with an aerial based infiltration, gliding through the air with 3 companions to take on a boss and retrieve investors, I cannot say that person's name, Rudimentary's camera. This cinematic mission challenged me to use all my tools at my disposal, flinging environmental hazards and picking off enemies at range before facing off in a duel against a club-wielding brute. This is just a slice of adventure players can unsheath in Rise of the Ronin when it hits PlayStation 5 on March the 22nd, 2024. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this blog for the upcoming Rise of the Ronin. Again, there's so much more to the game, but obviously I can't squeeze that too much in a short format type video like this. But let me know down in the comments, are you going to be playing Rise of the Ronin on the 22nd? I know it's going to be sharing a release date with Dragon's Dogma 2, so that may be a little bit tough for some players to, be able to pay for. In the meantime though, the video on screen now goes over the the newest information on the upcoming launch of Stellar Blade, detailing some pretty awesome stuff with the demo that was recently leaked, and of course a giveaway that I'm doing for Stellar Blade. Check it out.